All right, so you've got a Ford, and it's thrown you the code P0250. Don't worry, you are in exactly the right place. We are going to decode this thing together and get you ready to tackle it head on. The check engine light. We've all been there, right? Just driving along, minding your own business, and bam, there it is, that little glowing engine on your dash. And when it comes with a code like P0250 on your Ford, it can feel pretty confusing. Yeah, it's super frustrating. You plug in the scanner, and it spits out a code that might as well be in another language. But that's what we're here for. We're going to break it down and figure out exactly what your car is trying to say. Okay, let's dive right in. What is this P0250 code? Let's start with the official kind of technical definition. So the code P0250 is telling you there's an issue with the, get ready for it, turbocharger wastegate regulating valve solenoid. Yeah, let's just call it the TCWRVS. Basically, your car's brain, the computer, is seeing either high voltage or a break in the circuit for this part. I know, that's a total mouthful. Let's talk about what that really means for your engine. Okay, so let's make this simple. Imagine your engine's computer is trying to call a really important valve that controls your turbo's power. But the phone line is either cut or there's a ton of static, the message just isn't getting through clearly. And because this valve is so important for performance, your car flags it with that check engine light. So, the big question is, what's causing this communication breakdown? Well, there are usually four main suspects. Let's put on our detective hats and track down the culprits, one by one. All right, suspect number one, and this is a really common one, an open circuit. This is literally that cut phone line we were talking about. There's a break somewhere in the wiring between the computer and the solenoid. So, how do you find it? Here's what you need to check. Take a close look at the wiring harness. Are there any loose plugs? Is the wiring routed weirdly, maybe rubbing up against something sharp? Has anyone messed with it before? You're looking for any sign of damage or a bad connection. And the fix for this one? It's pretty clear-cut. If you find that open circuit, you've got to replace the harness. No patching it up. You want a brand new, solid connection. Okay, on to suspect number two, a short circuit. Now, if an open circuit is a broken wire, a short circuit is kind of the opposite. It's when electricity takes a shortcut it's not supposed to, usually because two wires are touching when they shouldn't be. So for this, you're again looking at the wiring. You're hunting for any spot where the insulation might be worn away, causing that electrical leak. And just like before, the fix is direct. You find the spot that's causing the short, and you either repair that specific piece of wiring or replace the faulty connector. Simple as that. All right, let's look at suspect number three. What if you check all the wiring and it looks perfect? Well, sometimes the problem isn't the phone line itself, but the phone on the other end. Exactly. The TCWRVS solenoid itself can just fail. It's a part that does a lot of work, and over time, it can just wear out internally. When that happens, boom, you get the P0250 code. And you guessed it, if the solenoid is the problem, the fix is to replace it with a new one. And that leads us to our fourth and final usual suspect. This one's all about plain old physical damage to the harness or its connector. You know, the engine bay is a rough neighborhood for wires. Things get hot, they vibrate, and sometimes critters even get in there. So we're talking about a cracked plastic connector, frayed wires, you name it. If you see obvious damage, those broken parts need to be replaced. Whew, okay, that was a lot. So let's pull all that information together into a super simple guide. Think of this as your cheat sheet. Here you go. On the left, you've got our four main suspects, and on the right, the solution for each one. This really maps it all out for you. Seriously, this is a great spot to pause and just soak it in for a second. So why does any of this matter? Why go through the trouble of understanding one little code? Well, because what's happening under the hood is a really big deal. Look, knowing what P0250 is all about helps you catch a small problem before it becomes a huge, expensive headache. It helps you track down the issue yourself, or at the very least, you can walk into your mechanic shop and have a really smart conversation. You're not just saying the light is on. You know what's up. It's all about keeping your ride safe and running like it should. At the end of the day, remember this. Knowledge is, without a doubt, the single best tool you can have in your garage. So, that P0250 code isn't a mystery anymore, is it? You've got a roadmap, you know what to look for. The question is, are you ready to take control of this repair?